Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how I made my laser fume extractor. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please read description below for a link to the post where I talk about building one. So basically I recorded this with my GoPro camera attached to my chest. It was filmed in my garage, and if you notice the door is closed. This was because it was super cold outside, probably -10. Anyway, this is part 1 where I'm gonna demonstrate how I made the wooden rings with fixed router. So this plywood I have here is 8 by 4 feet, and I already used one 4-foot part. So first I'm going to find center of the second half of the plywood. And this part is pretty simple, just using any ruler. You just mark 2 feet on each side. Just draw a line between those 2 marks and mark another 2 feet on that line, and this is gonna be a center, more or less. This mark is going to be your pivot hole, so you're gonna use it to rotate your router. So you can use dowel. I decided to use screw, so I pre-drilled it just a little bit. Then I took just a regular drywall screw and I screwed it in just again, not all the way, just a little bit so it holds. Now you're going to mark the diameter of the circles using your router jig. So with router taking off, basically just place the jig at the pivot center, screw the screw in just a little bit, and then mark the holes. So here I just marked one, but you can actually and yeah, very important, mark it on the sides because you want to know where it starts. As you can see, I drew 2 lines. So I'm just gonna drill a 1/4-inch hole because my router bit is 1/4-inch basically, and I drilled it all the way through. So now I'm taking the jig off and attaching it to the router. Again, at this point you could have attached it at a different pivot point and drilled another hole in the 3rd hole, but I didn't do it here. This is something I realized later. So basically you attach the router. I measure the bit so it doesn't stick out all the way, because it's probably not a good idea to cut through whole plywood. It's gonna be pretty difficult, so I'm going to use multiple passes. So here's a little tricky part. So once you attach the pivot point, you have to wiggle router a little bit so the bit goes into the hole, because sometimes you don't drill it. I mean, it's almost impossible to drill it dead in the center. Yep, gotta move stuff out, safety first. And here we go. So just turn the router on and start moving it slowly in a circle. I'm gonna speed up video just a little bit, otherwise it's gonna get real boring. And here you might want to stop in a few points and use your vacuum cleaner to vacuum the sawdust, otherwise it starts burning. You don't want that. So here actually I took it almost all the way around, and then at this point I vacuumed it. And once I did that, I was ready to continue and stop. Remember, you marked those 2 lines, so now you know where to stop and start next time. So what you do here, once you do the first run, you're going to use the second pass, so just extend the bit a little bit more, not all the way though. So I think I did 3 passes here. Yeah, so again, repeat, and Once you do it 3 times, you have finally cut the circle. Now that you have a circle, you're going to use next pivot point, and you're gonna basically drill the other holes. So I already drilled them, I'm just showing you how I did it. That's it. And you have 3 holes there. So you're ready to start making rings. So again, attach the router. So and same as before, attach it to the pivot point, put the router bit into the hole. Make sure you adjust it so it's not coming all the way through, because you want multiple passes, obviously. Unless you have really powerful router, and probably not a good idea. And again, just so you're going to cut the first ring. So I'm going to do again 3 passes, and on the last pass I'm gonna extend the router bit all the way through. Just make sure you have something underneath, because at that point you're going to scratch the table. Follow the same step for the second ring, and this is it for part 1. So in the second part I'm gonna show you how to make top and bottom covers for the Fume extractor. See you then.